Connie Francis's life reads like a classic Hollywood screenplay: childhood talent discovered on live television, meteoric rise to international stardom, personal tragedies that almost ended her career, and a triumphant late-life renaissance that introduced her to a whole new generation. Here's her story. Born Concetta Rosa Maria Franconero on December 12, 1937, Connie grew up in Newark, New Jersey's Ironbound district, the daughter of Italian immigrants George Franconero, a roofing contractor-turned-manager, and Ida Ferrari di Vito, a homemaker who sang Neapolitan lullabies. By age 3, she was nervously fingering a toy accordion. By 4, she was performing at church socials and block parties. Her father recognized a raw gift, booking her into talent contests and neighborhood festivals. At 12, Connie won a spot on Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts. Godfrey advised her to drop the accordion and shorten her name to Connie Francis. Overnight, her career, and a lifelong battle to define herself beyond her father's shadow, began. After high school, MGM Records signed her to a single contract. 9 early singles flopped, pushing young Connie to the brink of quitting. Then, at her father's insistence, she recorded the 1923 ballad, Who's Sorry Now? A song she loathed but delivered with such aching sincerity that Dick Clark debuted it on American Bandstand in January 1958. The public fell in love. It climbed to number 4 on US charts, hit number 1 in Britain, and vaulted Connie into the rock and roll vanguard. Over the next 6 years, she notched 35 top 40 hits, including 3 number 1s, Everybody's Somebody's Fool, My Heart Has a Mind of Its Own, and Don't Break the Heart That Loves You. She didn't just conquer English-language pop. She recorded in Italian, Spanish, German, Hebrew, Japanese, and Yiddish, selling over 200 million records worldwide and becoming one of the first truly global female superstars. On screen, she starred in the beach break rom-com Where the Boys Are, 1960, a film whose title song she sang and which cemented Fort Lauderdale's spring break mystique. She headlined her own NBC variety specials and guest hosted The Ed Sullivan Show, where her honeyed mezzo-soprano cheekily belted pop standards and Broadway favorites. As the British invasion reshuffled the charts, Connie pivoted to adult contemporary albums and live concerts in Las Vegas, proving her versatility. Beneath the spotlight, tragedy struck. At 19, she fell for teen idol Bobby Darin, only to have her father, ever the protective manager, allegedly chase Darin away at gunpoint, ending the romance she later called the love of my life. In 1967, a botched nasal operation robbed her of her voice for months. Then, in August 1974, after a Westbury Music Fair concert, she was abducted, beaten, and raped at knife point in her motel room. The physical scars healed, but the psychological wounds ran deep. She successfully sued the motel chain for inadequate security, winning a landmark $1.5 million settlement, and became an outspoken advocate for victims' rights. Her personal relationships were as tumultuous as her professional ones. Connie married 4 times, each ending in under a year, before finding a long-term partner in Tony Ferretti, with whom she shared 18 years until his death in January 2022. In 1974, amid her greatest trauma, she and third husband Joseph Garzilli adopted her only child, Joey, a bond she described as her salvation through the darkest seasons of depression and involuntary psychiatric hospitalizations. Offstage, Connie invested in a tranquil Mediterranean-style villa in Parkland, Florida. The 5-bedroom home, complete with interior courtyard, private pool, and a secluded music studio, became her sanctuary, a place to host barbecues for Joey and his friends, rehearse late into the night, and record her memoirs. She owned a collection of cherished cars, ranging from a restored 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air, her first dream car, to a sleek Mercedes-Benz S-Class for city drives and an SUV for weekend family trips. Financially, Connie's resilience paid dividends. At her death on July 16, 2025, at age 87, her net worth was estimated at $25 million. Revenue streams included record and streaming royalties, film and television residuals, lucrative endorsements, her motel security lawsuit proceeds, and a surprising TikTok windfall. In June 2025, her 1962 B-side, Pretty Little Baby, exploded on social media, racking up over 27 billion global streams and landing her on Spotify's viral 50 charts. In her final weeks, Connie battled complications from a hip fracture and ensuing pneumonia. Admitted to intensive care on July 2nd, she rallied enough to post holiday well wishes on July 4th before slipping away peacefully in her Florida hospital room on July 16th. Her publicist, Ron Roberts, announced her passing on her official Facebook page, praising her as a dear friend whose voice transcended generations. Tributes flooded in. Fellow artists hailed her as the godmother of female pop. Mental health advocates honored her advocacy born from personal trauma, and fans recounted how her ballads soundtracked landmark moments in their lives. Connie Francis's story, accordion in hand at age 4, conquering global charts at 20, enduring unimaginable hardship, and inspiring youth on TikTok at 87, embodies the power of reinvention and the healing magic of song. Her legacy lives on every time a new listener discovers the crackle of a vintage vinyl spinning, Who's Sorry Now? Or the innocent charm of Pretty Little Baby. In the end, she proved that an artist's truest triumph is not just the heights she reaches, but the depth from which she rises, and the hearts she lifts along the way. Thanks for watching Connie Francis's incredible journey from Newark accordion prodigy to global pop legend. If you enjoyed this video, tap the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next story. Tell us in the comments which Connie moment or song moves you most.